Hi there, I'm Charlene Shirk, and welcome to Digital Champions, where we speak to some of the most innovative thinkers in the digital space. And joining us today from Brooklyn, New York is Kat Krieger with Together for Safer Roads. Kat, thanks so much for joining us today on Digital Champions.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, we all want safer roads, so tell us how you're working with Together for Safer Roads to achieve that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very difficult and systemic problem. But at TSR, we try to address roads for all users, whether it's truck and fleet drivers, car drivers, pedestrians, cyclists. So we always look at new technology that can be put on vehicles, particularly fleet vehicles, such as 360-degree cameras that um, have an AI element, so they can predict when someone might step out into the road before they actually do it, and alert the driver. We also work within communities to create safer roads. If you can't cross the street safely, you can't get to school, you can't get to work, you can't access public services. And lastly, we are working on a huge public awareness campaign against distracted driving, which is just as dangerous as being impaired.
And Kat, how does that break up with clients? Are these communities and these trucking companies your clients?
Yep.
And so how do
Yes.
you...
So yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. So we are a global NGO. But our members or partners are, giant conglomerates like PepsiCo, UPS, AB InBev, Republic Services, who really, they have so many drivers on the road, whether in their delivery vehicles or just their employees. So they're incredibly concerned about road safety. But in terms of technology and policy, they're really ahead of the game. And they partner with us to develop or pilot new technology, develop programming for small to medium sized fleets, your local electrician or a plumber, like they are fleet drivers, even though they would never consider themselves to be one.
And so in working with these organizations, I would think you're working the digital space to get your message out that you offer and provide these services. But I'm also going to expect that these organizations that are implementing these safety regulations or technology or the know-how that you're giving them, they want to also communicate that they're being a proactive and safe company to protect lives. So how do you work in that digital world to communicate both what you offer and then assist them in promoting what they are doing?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we definitely, for any particular program, we want to make sure that, our messaging is solid. So whenever anyone is speaking about a particular program, that, we are all echoing one another. We're all aware of just simple logistics like a content schedule, are aware when there are media opportunities, and we're all hitting the same points, for sure. And just taking advantage of, articles or such that may come out. There's certainly been a lot of changes with the infrastructure bill. So, yeah, we're just on it, I guess.
And what do you see coming up in the digital space in the next year to 2 years that will help you or hinder you in getting that message out?
Yeah. The thing that I'm watching the most is obviously Web3. How it's going to unfold. It seems to be a bit different every day. But it's the biggest trend that I'm watching. I'm seeing so many brands having successful experiments. So that's something I'm really paying attention to. And also on the more tech side, we're always looking at artificial intelligence, autonomous vehicles, and that impacts communication too. It's certainly in the news a lot. People are paying attention to what's happening, what companies are experimenting with autonomy. So, yeah.
Well, great stuff. Kat, thank you so much for joining us today. What a wealth of knowledge you provided, and I checked out your website. Really great information, and thanks so much for what your organization is doing in our world, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It was a pleasure meeting you. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us on Digital Champions today.
Thanks so much, Charlene.
It's our pleasure. And of course, if you'd like to learn more about what they're doing together for safer roads, start by checking them out on dailyadbrief.com. Well, I'm Charlene Shirk. That's going to do it for this episode of Digital Champions, and we look forward to learning something new with you next time.
Simplify presents Addressable CTV, combining the power of TV with the targeting and attribution of digital. Simplify's Addressable CTV delivers massive reach with the ability to scale without sacrificing precision. TV buyers can generate incremental reach with household-level targeting, frequency controls, reporting, and insights. To learn more about Simplify's Addressable CTV and what it can do for your clients, visit simply.fi.